someone. I would like to have at least 1 year on me today right now. Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mehliya Cetinkaya. I currently go to Rashaford High School. I'm in 11th grade. And I'm Uyghur. So for a lot of us, the word Uyghur or concentration camps in China is kind of familiar. We've heard it in passing or we've seen it on the news once or twice. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today and spread awareness about the true situation of the Uyghurs in China. Before we do that though, I want to recognize that we're on Treaty 6 territory, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, as well as the Métis. We acknowledge the many First Nations whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. And we are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and the elders who are here with us today, those who have gone before us. We recognize the land as an act of reconciliation, as a gratitude to those whose territory we reside on or we're visiting. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm an Uyghur. Concentration camps in China, genocide, we've heard this before. These Uyghur Muslims are living in Central Asia. They're an ethnic Turkic minority. They're what I like to call the origin of what we know as the Republic of Turkey today. However, to the world, it's more known as Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, which I'll dissect that later, trust. Now, what's happening to the Uyghurs is a genocide, and the word genocide is a hard one to use and a vague one. So I would like to provide some clarification on what a genocide is. According to the United Nations, there's a criteria for what a genocide is, and it is as follows. It is any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole, in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group as such, killing members of the group, causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. In other words, concentration camps, forced sterilizations, forced abortions, residential schools, no freedom of religion or speech. All things happening in East Turkistan. In the 21st century, to have a genocide happen is insane. The fact that it's ongoing in the world's silence is baffling, to be quite frank. We see Muslim countries ignore the genocide because of their trades with China. This shows the true state of the dunya that we live in. Reflect that. 97% of the Quran teaches us ethics and morals. However, when these Muslim countries push aside their ethics and morals for trade, let's think about it. Now, since 1949, when China occupied us and labeled us Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, they gave us no autonomy, nor the right to be Uyghur. We're being persecuted and punished because of our ethnicity and our religion. With over 3 million innocent Uyghurs in concentration camps, 1 million Uyghur children in residential schools, Uyghurs have been fighting against China silently for 73 years. Alhamdulillah, right now we're in the last couple days of Ramadan. In East Turkistan, they have fast, they have pray, they have a hijab like I do. They can't even name their children's Islamic names, Muhammad, Aisha, Rubiya. Those are forbidden. The consequences is imprisonment. They're forced to renounce their devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about that and take that in. Imagine if you were forced to renounce your love for your own God. A man was put into prison for 7 years because he prayed on the streets. Another lady was in prison because she was caught reading the Quran without a license. And she wore a hijab. As a girl who recently started wearing a hijab, alhamdulillah, I am so thankful I'm able to do this. But so many Uyghur young children are not. We live here in this Western world, we're able to do all these things and many, many more. Alhamdulillah, we're here to pray on this Jummah day with all of our brothers and sisters. We're here together, connected, worshiping the same God. Back home, their mosques are turned into bars and restaurants. Their mosques are demolished. Yet they've stayed resilient. Now I want to share a hadith narrated by Suhan Abu Dawud. It is narrated that the Prophet said, "Ataruku al-Turk ma tarakukum." And this translates to, do not attack the Turks as long as they do not attack you, for you will not win over them. Do not attack the Turks for as long as they do not attack you, for you will not win over them. And for the 73 years, China has not been able to win over us. Alhamdulillah. We are a power and a presence. And maybe that's just my Turkish nationalism speaking, but it is the truth. And may Allah protect us, and may Allah guide us. But we need to keep Uyghurs in our du'as and in our prayers. We always say this, oh, I will pray for this, I will pray for that. Yet sometimes we forget. Because we're so consumed by the temporariness of this dunya. We need to keep Uyghurs in our du'as and prayers. As Muslims, we must speak up for our own. We must defend our own. Living in a world where Islamic hate is so normalized, it should light a fire. It should ignite us. It should compel us to do something, to fight, to speak out. Yet we watch as media posts another bombing in Gaza, another Uyghur detained in the concentration camp, another Uyghur scholar dead, and we watch. We can't let our own brothers and sisters down. Those Uyghurs in the concentration camps silently pray to Allah and ask them for perseverance, for the strength. But a part of them also hopes in us. Us Muslim brothers in the West will say that and speak up for them. Yet we're letting them down, to be quite frank. There's no way to sugarcoat it, there's no way to be nice about it. It's been 73 years. Concentration camps 2016, residential schools 2018. And yet the world is still silent. Us Muslims are silent to our own brothers and sisters. How does that work? We need to fight for our own people until they are free from this genocide and the world knows what China is doing. Alhamdulillah, as Muslims we trust Allah with everything. We ask Him for everything and Alhamdulillah He gives us what He sees fit for us. Because Allah is the all-knowing. But while we ask for Him for our wants and desires, we need to ask Allah to protect Uyghurs. But while we ask Allah to protect Uyghurs, we need to come to protest. We need to go to events, we need to speak. We can do both simultaneously. We live in a Western world. It is not impossible to go to a protest, to an event, to talk to an MP, and pray and dua at the same time. It is possible to do them simultaneously. Living in a Western world, we need to adapt, to fight for our people, to grab the eye of the governments. Our future is so dependent on us. I'm 16. Alhamdulillah, I've made it this far in my life, in my activism career, but we need to do better. We need to educate ourselves. We need to educate our friends. We need to go to our classrooms and ask our teachers, hey, why are we learning about Muslims being persecuted? Why are we learning about Uyghurs who are being persecuted because of their religion and their ethnicity? We can't hide this. We have to speak out. The youth, we are the change. We are the people who will make the change. So let's make it. Let's educate ourselves. Let's educate around those around us. And let's work together. Because as a Muslim ummah, if we show up to a protest, to an event, the world will fear. The world will know, oh, they have people to support them. Muslims care for one another. They actually show up to protest together. We must fight for our own. Allah teaches us to care for others, give when you can, love as much as you can, and speak up for those who are living in oppression. So why do we ignore Uyghurs? Why do we forget that they're there? It's time to change. We need to make a difference, and that starts from within. So much Islamic hate is around in this world. That should propel us, that should make us eager to fight, eager to talk about Uyghurs, eager to learn more about the genocide, about the concentration camps, the residential schools. The fact that I was in East Turkistan, I would be put in camp because I wore hijab. Mosque. we are today to pray together. They're being killed in concentration camps, and we're letting it happen. So I ask all of you to educate yourself, to go out, seek that initiative, and let's make change. Let's not forget about our Uyghur brothers and sisters. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always ask me or email Alberta Uyghur Association. I will have cards up at the front. But we need to make this change happen, brothers and sisters. It is dependent on us as Muslim Ummah to care for one another. Thank you.
This is actually a very important topic. I'm happy we had someone to speak about it, and someone to speak about it actually from the Uyghur themselves. Brothers, al-Muslimuna kal-jasad al-wahid. The Prophet ﷺ described the whole Muslim community all over the world like one whole body. One whole body. If one organ of this body, if one organ is sick, the whole body, the Prophet ﷺ says the whole body will suffer fever and will not be able to sleep. So this is one organ of our Muslim body. Our Muslim brothers in the concentration camps in China, do you know that the Chinese government compelled women that they share their beds if their husbands are detained? If the husband is detained, the woman is compelled to share her bed with a Chinese official. They admitted this. The Chinese government admitted this. And it is shameful that we can't do anything. But the least that we can do is to remember them in our dua. The least that we can do is to remember them in our dua, to care for them, to raise awareness for their cause. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala relieve them from the oppression of the Chinese government. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them victory over the oppressive Chinese regime. Ameen.